Hello and welcome to Living Blind 101. My name is Suzanne Gibson and I'm here to share with you how I overcome blindness in my life. And my hope is that if you are dealing with a vision loss, that maybe you can get some encouragement or even some ideas on how to overcome it for yourself. And maybe you're living with somebody or have a close family member or friend that is going through this that doesn't like to talk about it, and maybe that through me you can understand them a little better. So what I have is called Stargard's. It's a genetic disorder. You're born with it, although generally doesn't show up right away. For me, I didn't show it until I was in my 40s. I had known in my 30s, I had been diagnosed that I was at least carrying it. Due to some vision problems I was having, but it was determined that that was due to an ocular migraine. So I knew it was there in my 30s, but it didn't really start to affect me till I was in my 40s. So somewhere mid 40s-ish, I noticed some trouble reading the road signs when I was driving, and decided to go figure out. I figured I just needed a new prescription. I'm nearsighted. So turns out they couldn't help me with a new prescription. Something bigger was going on. We suspected it was the Stargard's. Went off to another ophthalmologist. Unfortunately, at the same time, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I had to kind of step aside and figure that thing out first. Had surgery, radiation, and all that, got that taken care of. By the time I decided to go back to figuring out what to do about this vision loss, I had already drastically reduced my driving, just so you know. I was still able to see, but I was having some difficulty, obviously. So I was only driving like 5 minutes from my house in town with 25 miles an hour and things like that. But at this point, after I had gotten all dealt with the brain surgery, I had been diagnosed as legally blind, which meant I no longer had enough sight left to drive. So this is where my journey starts. I would say on how to deal with blindness would be after that point. So what I want to share on this channel is those little things that I do, the things I've learned how to help me live a better, more normal life. The type of vision loss that I have is central vision loss. Stargard's is an inability to process vitamin A correctly, so it pools as a toxin on your retina, which then obviously gets in your way and you cannot see. So, so I cannot see. This is a very simplified example, but if you take your fist and you put it right in the center of your face like this, and you look straight ahead, that's what I'm missing. So I can see all of this. But if you're trying to understand it for yourself, you cannot point your eyes around your fist. You have to look straight at your fist and then try to understand the stuff that's around you. And then if you try to do that, you can get a little bit of an idea of what it's like for me. It is not exactly a black hole. It's more of a if you took some Vaseline on your thumb and put it on your glasses, it's more like that. It's more of a giant blur that is totally, there's nothing, you can't see anything through it. But it's more of a blur than it is a black hole. So all that stuff in your peripheral that you can see is still very hard to understand. It's very difficult to read and to recognize faces, things like that. So I will be sharing all the ways that I have figured out to deal with these issues. How do I read? How do I recognize people, which I pretty much don't. But anyway, how do I get around in life with these problems? I'm not going to share much today on that because it will get into a very long discussion. So what I want to do is just share a little bit each time, go over one little aspect of life and how I get through that. So today is just my introduction into who I am, and who I am is a wife and a mother and a grandmother and an artist. And so some of the things I have to get over or get through or get around is or in those in those roles of my life. The hardest thing I had to deal with as an artist was facing the fact that I was going blind. So, but I have overcome that, and I will be sharing how I overcame that. And I hope that this channel will be an encouragement, as I said, to those who are suffering from vision loss, as well as someone who is trying to understand a loved one with vision loss. So until next time, I will bid you a farewell, and God bless.